Hello members of the internet, welcome to another mystery unboxing video. This is November's unboxing video, so there's a whole lot of stuff. I even got it lid, so I even have a lid on it. So, let's begin. First off, I've taken off the hard drives. I have 5 of them. We have a Samsung 160 gig hard drive. I'll have to spoil you, I tested the hard drives because one of them is in the box ready to go to RMA, but I'll talk to you about that later. We have our Maxtor Maxline Pro 500 gig hard drive, and let's see if that camera picks it up. I don't know if you can see it, but there's crazy glue on that, and it's kind of weird. This Samsung 500 gig hard drive, and that's not gonna go too well, cause yeah. That coil, whatever that thing's supposed to be, is popped off, and I'm definitely not going to try it. And I saw there's missing screws, so that's enough of that one. And the Seagate, I think it's a Barracuda as well. Yeah, another Barracuda 1 terabyte hard drive. This one does not get detected, doesn't even bother, it doesn't even try. So these 2 drives, gonzo. The reason why I tested all the hard drives were because I normally refurbish them and they're always good to go after. This hard drive didn't even have problems to begin. The only thing it had was a frozen DCO, which basically is the thing basically to adjust the hard drive size, and it was hiding 140 megs of it, and I did a powerful wipe and nothing happened. No bad sectors, no nothing. This one had a couple bad sectors, they were fixed, and the other one that is not present right now is a Seagate Barracuda 2 terabyte hard drive, and it is, I saw the label, it was the latest you can ever get, and because of this, well, I'm gonna go get the box. I checked the warranty, and the warranty expired on the 4th or the 14th of February of 2015. So, it's going up today. I'm gonna get myself a 2 terabyte hard drive, and it only cost me $5 and shipping. And they were talking about packaging, but it's pretty stiff. They got an ESD anti-static bag like they requested, although it's a Western Digital anti-static bag, so it's gonna make things interesting. I slipped a note. It says power up but not detected on 3 machines, and they don't have those little hard drive sliding things. It's a bunch of foam, it's very sturdy, it's gonna get taped like no tomorrow, and it's ready to go. So let's get back to the main business and let's get unboxing on those. So the lid is a big beast. Oh boy, that thing's heavy. We have the Intel, what was it again? The SE750 5VB2 server board. This is a dual Xeon 3.06 gigahertz setup, and I was expecting the lowest end because I always, expect the lowest, and I got the highest. Those are 32-bit CPUs, and I finally found a board that had the support for those 2 gig DDR slots. Unfortunately, once again, it kind of powered itself on, and it does work. But I haven't really went into the BIOS on this one either, so I'm going to take a look anyways at it. Okay, where do I put that? Let's put the hard drives here for now. Fuck, I'm handling a pizza. Fuck, what is this, a medium pizza? I also wanted to test it because it took a 24-pin and 8-pin CPU connector, and I said to myself, well, there's no way, I'm going to try the power box, but I might be expecting some sparks, and no, it worked fine. So, this one is untested. This is the P5Q SE Plus P45 chipset, and it even has the protector. I peeled off the protector, and there was no bent pins or anything. And to be quite frank, despite a little scratch and mark here and missing CMOS battery, which I can easily fix, it looks like it wasn't even used. Literally doesn't. Wait a minute. Smells like it's just right out of the bag and just thrown in to be recycled. That's why I smell the board. And yeah, so I actually feel confident about this one. And because I got a crap ton of Core 2 Duos to go through, I had to get a couple of those. So that's one. I'm going to put on the medium's pizza. This, I was looking for any kind of exotic things and hardware and 486. I'm the hopeful eternal that I'll find an IBM PS2 one day, but that didn't happen. However, I found this uncommon board. It's not very common you'll see one of those, and I don't know, it's uncommon enough for me to call it exotic, even though it's far from being exotic. We're talking about an ECS P6VEM2 with the built-in VIA CPU. I believe that's a C3. It says 1 Giga Pro, so I guess it's like 200 megahertz. Marketing strategies. I wonder if this will work. This is the only system that needs SDRAM. The only board, sorry. Alright, next up on the line is this one. The Asus P5PE-VM with 6 bloated capacitors. Now when I got this one, I was expecting, maybe to pass up a couple capacitors, but I wasn't really thinking. Because when I saw the AGP slot this morning, I said, oh, fuck me, this is an 865 chipset, I'm pretty sure. So, I might not even be able to run a Pentium D on it. I have no clue if it supports that or not. I guess we'll find out. That's if it turns on, takes DDR. This board has powered up because I had to get the hard drive and I really wanted to throw something in it. And this is the P5QL Pro. And once again, smells like it's straight out of the bag, brand new, unbelievable, P43 chipset. Why do you want to do this? It's beautiful. Fully featured, everything, straight out of the bag and then freaking recycling? Are you crazy? This is impossible. It's unbelievable. I'm running out of space for boards. Oh yeah, this one, I almost forgot. This board, I have had no idea what it is. This is another uncommon board, and upon doing some research, I finally found the model name, and this goes to an HP, was it a Pavilion XW4600, something like that? And I was wondering what kind of chipset that was because I've never seen one of those. And it turns out it's an X38 chipset, so I'm handling one high-end piece of hardware there. I've seen a couple, a difference in the shading and light and brightness when I put it at the light, but the pins are fine, so I gotta find a heatsink for that, but I'll use a little piece of shit for the testing purposes. And what really caught my eye was this. That little USB port there. That's uncommon, really. And of course the stupid proprietary front panel, so hopefully I believe it is the pins on the bottom there. One, the other one's empty, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 5, 6. Hopefully. Well, I guess I'll have to test them all out. I guess this is the only board that's going to have a Core 2 Duos. The other one will only have the Pentium 4 that I have. So we'll get going with that. And again, because I was finally getting fed up of missing those, I finally stood up and hauled out two 300-watt power supplies. They're 20 pin and 4-pin CPU, and this one's with Christmas tree shit. Oh, great. Wow. It's actually got this random pin thing there that goes for the 423s and some random boards as well. So those are 300 watts each, and it's 15 amps. I thought it was 13 for a minute. Maybe the other one is? No, they're both 15. 15 amps on the 12 volt rail, 28 amps on the 3.3, and 30 amps on the 5 volt. This is a good power supply and it feels heavy, so. But I'm not going to turn them on until I've thoroughly inspected their insides, because there could be a reason why. They don't smell bad though, so. Alright, I'm going to wrap things up here a bit, and we're going to take a closer look and, yeah, give those a spin and see what happens. one power supply is fine. The other one has 1 voltage capacitor, so this is not going to be a hard fix really. So I'm just going to go ahead and put that there. Put the screws on top. Well, actually I'm going to screw them in actually a bit. The Intel SE7505 VB2's I/O ports consist of 3 USB. I think they're 2.0. Your PS2 for your keyboard and mouse, serial, parallel VGA, 100 megabit Ethernet, and a gigabit Ethernet. That's right, you get a gigabit. Why not 2? I don't know. And of course, if you're in this market for server boards, the best way to get server boards is to have the integrated IGP controller and its own memory mounted in. If you have a server board, if you're looking at a server board that's fairly expensive and does not have this, that shares your memory, stay away from it. That's stupid, especially for a server. So I'm gonna hook things up and we'll see what kind of demonstration we can get out of this. With those big turbines, kind of a wind tunnel, so it could be loud a bit. Alright, here we go. Turning on the kill switch. For a server, really, it's kind of quiet. I'll have to admit that. Takes a while to post. Man, that was a while. You gotta wait for it to show the text, and there we go. Press F2 like a madman, should go. Now we have the silicon image. It has 2 serial ATA, 2 IDE ports, 1 floppy, and it supports up to 8 gigs of RAM. Ah, screw you. Is my keyboard bad? Alright, new keyboard. Oh, this one, yeah, the lights are on now, so that's good. And there we go. Huh, so maybe my, the gayest keyboard I have probably just gave the ghost. Okay, so we have nothing in devices. I/O device. Yeah, you have your serial port A. Port B, where's the header for this? Oh, I think I found it. Yeah, it's in a header. Parallel floppy disk controller, onboard device. You can also disable this. You can disable one of the network controller, second one being the gigabit. VGA behavior, you can use it as single or dual. Basically it's single. Oh, son of a bitch. USB disabled. Let's enable that. Do I have a CMOS battery there? Yeah, it would. Okay. Oh, there you go. Finally got quiet. Onboard, serial ATA, scan, yeah. Mix. Okay, for the PXE, you can pause this video anytime you want. Oh, that's odd. 64, 66. This is a PCIX. That's odd. Server menu. CPU 1 is 44, CPU 2 is 34. You can run this board with 1 CPU, but make sure that CPU is in socket number 1. If you populate number 2, it won't work. Some dual CPU systems back then needed a CPU terminator, much like SCSI drives, but this board does not require this. And from as far as I understood, if you get yourself a socket 604, the socket 603, which is this board, the CPUs are actually can fit on the 604, which is, I've never heard that before. Installed operating system, Windows 2000, .NET, which I think that was 2003 back then, or XP. NT4, Novell NetWare, or other. I wonder what other is. I guess it's the server Linux. Yeah, I might as well just go around and throw in a Radeon 9700 Pro with a sound card and play some FreeCell. Anyways, large disk access mode, DOS or other. Yeah, Unix, Novell NetWare, or other operating system, select other. If you're installing blah 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 blah. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think it was a non-Windows setup. Monitor function, we have hyper-threading enabled, legacy, USB support, summary screen, quick boot, password on boot. Yeah, it's fine there, there's nothing there. Machine vendor, which technically doesn't give me anything except the Intel board. Here's your two CPUs. I was actually very pleased when I saw those 2 gig sticks work. I've been holding this for around 6 years, 6, 7, 8 years. No wait, 4 to 6 years around, and I think it's mostly 6. And time has paid off. I finally found a board that needs ECC memory. I'm very happy, and those are Hewlett Packard sticks. Port connector, that's all basically what you get, and BIOS, the basic information, which makes no sense to really have, except if you're really savvy or you really want to know everything. Well, exit save and changes. So that's the server board. I'm going to go ahead and try out another board now. The ECS P6V EM2 has 2 onboard IDE ports, 2 SDRAM ports, the floppy connector right here, a 20-pin CPU connector, the AMR CNR slot, 3 PCI and 1 ISA slot. At the back we have the 2 PS2 ports, 2 USB and the onboard NIC or Ethernet, serial, parallel, VGA, onboard audio, and your game port, which is basically unheard of as of today. It's 256 meg stick. Alright, let's find out what's going to happen. Now my power switch actually is broken completely, both of them now, so I actually have another connector here that'll do the trick. Or not. Oh, whatever. I'll use my screwdriver. Sometimes it's the only option. Okay, so this one, if I've checked the manual properly, should be the 2 last pins. Oh, yeah. So, what are we gonna get? Oh, that looks dead. Aw, that sucks. We'll try to wiggle a memory. It's always fun to wiggle memory and stuff around. And where's my card? I didn't put the key. Well, so it's only going to help if I actually get something on the screen. CMOS BIOS is inserted. CMOS battery inserted. What you turn on? Oh, there we go. I hate starting computers with a screwdriver. Oh, well, look at that. Just memory problems, I guess. VIA C3 won't tell me the frequency, bitch. Oh, well, it looks like that CMOS battery. Wow, okay. January 1st, 2001. I'll have to configure that. Once again, pause the video if you want to see things. I'm just reading through this one because it's very, very limited, I'm pretty sure. It's a VIA CPU, I mean, come on. Oh, on-chip USB 2. What is that? Wait, you can only enable one? I don't know. Okay. Legacy audio, sound blaster. We get a sound blaster in there? I don't see a sound blaster. I do see a Realtek. Maybe that could be the Ethernet, but I don't see a sound blaster. Or a Create. I do see the VIA. I swear, everything's almost VIA in there. I'd be surprised if SIS would be the chipset. Power management, we got absolutely this. No. Plug and play operating systems installed. The CPU temperature is 32 degrees. And that little fan spins frickin' fast. But the noise you're hearing is from my power box. I barely hear it. Yet again, is there even... Oh yeah, there's a tiny little heatsink that if the fan fails, your system's dead. Okay. I gotta tend to be careful on that. Oh well, yeah, there ain't overclocking that piece of shit. And of course, there's not gonna be any operating system installed because I don't have anything and I'm not even sure of the frequency. It says GigaPro. It doesn't even tell me. It sells the front side bus of 133, which is normal. The C3 Samuel probably is a 600-700 megahertz. Maybe I do have a 1 gigahertz, but a 1 Giga Pro ball bearing, really, I find that bullshit. It's much like my PC chips, Pro 2700A Plus. People are saying that, oh, it acts like an AMD Athlon XP 2700 Plus. Oh yeah, really? Okay, well, how comes my CPU's an Athlon soldered in an Athlon 1.33 gigahertz? Same bullshit. Oh well, at least it works, and it's the very first. Well, not the very first VIA CPU. I have another one, but that's the very first one that's integrated. That's uncommon. Now for the, well, looks like brand new anyways, P5Q SE Plus. This board looks so awesome. I'm going to put in the battery and throw in a CPU. See what happens. Okay, 6 serial ATA, 3 USB 2.0 headers, 1 IDE connector, 1 floppy connector, the ASUS Q connector, which I find annoying, and yeah, that's pretty much all in the storage compartment. 4 DDR2 slots, 1 PCIe 16 lane, 2 PCI 1 lane, 2 PCI Express 1 lane, sorry about that, and 3 standard PCI. Now let me get the battery. Damn it. Keep forgetting about damn batteries. I'll tell you. Alright, from the battery. Fudge. Those systems really suck a lot of batteries. I'm keeping another one handy because the HP also missing a battery. Okay. How do I put this one? Okay, this way. Okay, ready to go. I don't have a buzz on this one, so I'll cross my fingers because I don't have the speaker hooked in. Alright. Well, lights on. Let me get the redneck turn on. And that's the Intel fan scraping my wire. Let's see what's gonna happen. Maybe I spoke too soon. I'll do the wiggle, the memory, and the video card. Everything could be finicky and just a little movement, a little pin out. That happens too. Okay, let's try it again. I mean, they were tossed violently, so maybe something got ripped off. I'm obviously not seeing any form of life. Bummer. Okay, let me put the speaker and see what it'll have to scream at me, if it screams anything anyways. Maybe the memory isn't compatible with it. Alright, Redneck systems are go, speakers hooked in. I'm going to put a little something in between to keep the video card stable, not wobbly. Okay, so let's go ahead and try it again. Hey, it won't start no more, what the hell? I think we're having we're really having issues here without the RAM. Okay, be quiet. I think I understood what's the matter with you. Bad RAM, or, well, no, the RAM's fine. Maybe it's conflicting memory, or maybe it's not installed properly. I'll try it again. There we go. Firmly installed. Let's try it again. At least now I know it has some form of life. One long, too short is basically RAM sometimes. Great. Don't beep at me just to tell you I'm alive, but I'll try a different memory module. Different RAM stick. I don't think we're gonna get some good luck out of it. Alas, no matter what I've tried, switched CPUs, I changed the jump, make sure all the jumpers were fine. I even removed the CMOS battery. Nope, no life. The only sign of life I can get is when I remove the memory, and it'll start beeping at me. So probably something really bad went wrong. So I don't know what it was. I already had a couple boards do this to me. This is long, too short. Oh well, let's go to the next board, I guess. Here's what I found out. I changed the CPU to a Pentium 4 or Pentium D, I don't remember. Anyways, it's not a Core 2 Duo. And that still did the same thing. I jiggled the video card, and I remember one of my redneck tricks is to wedge a piece of paper in between the video card so it will sit higher. That didn't do anything. But I let it sit for a minute, a good minute, and although I will admit that the CPU and the Northbridge heatsink was getting, nice and cozy, the Southbridge was stone cold. As in, there's nothing at the bottom that got even warm. And unfortunately, well, that's not really a good sign. We got a diesel UPS truck that just got in. Wait, UPS? Oh, whatever. Yeah. That's really, really too bad. It's still good for something. The show off. Let's take a look at your younger brother. This is working. That I'm happy to say. So, I'm going to hook it up and we're going to check it out. I find that funny, actually. The bottom of this motherboard actually is, I could say, nearly almost identical to the one of the P5Q SC Plus, except the heatsink. Anyways, the Southbridge heatsink is different color. That's pretty much it. But on the top, there's a few difference. It's hilariously the same. Oh well. But there's a big difference between the two. Why don't you start? There we go. There's a big difference between the two. This one does work, and it's got Express Gate, which I'll explain to you once I'm in the BIOS, because I will disable that. Nice little boot, boot screen. It really breaks my heart for the other one. Oh well, you can't win them all. And oh yeah, hold on a minute. It's gonna help a lot if I have a keyboard hooked in, eh? Herp derp. Off we go. It's really weird. But once again, it offers more or less the same thing. I'm going to go ahead. Now it's working. ExpressGate is basically when you have a hard drive on your ASUS CD, you have this thing called ExpressGate installer. Basically what it would do is it would boot into a small boiled down version of Linux to give you access to the internet or everything. Which I found that pretty nice when I saw it, on demos and everything. However, when I first got it and I said to myself, yes, I get to use ExpressGate, the downside is you need a hard drive. I thought the ExpressGate would be integrated with with the memory chip they would have. So that really killed this idea. because having a motherboard boot in quickly to an internet, well, a boiled down Linux version of Linux for the internet, like quickly to go, I could have seen that going much better than the ASUS's instant music thing. Anyways, let's go ahead. I just want to check the temperature. Oh, 48 degrees. Oh yeah, typical Pentium 4, you know. Storage configuration, we absolutely got fuck all except the IDE or AHCI if you desire. You can pause the video once again for those options as I'm breezing by. We have DRAM timing control, which I'm not gonna, you know, play with. Please key in numbers directly. Oh, I'm playing with voltage, everything, so maybe that's what could have happened on the other one. Maybe the Southbridge got it. I don't care. It's dead. Oh. I'm not gonna start bursting my head with that. Chipset, no bridge. You get this. I will. Oops. I'm pressing wrong keys. On board. There it is. SPDIF, USB, PCI plug and play all operating system. Normally I always say yes to that. Yeah, the AVM configuration, have fun with that. Boot settings configuration. Full screen logo, I lock it off. Okay, where's the express gate? Disable. AINet. Oh, okay, yeah, it checks your Ethernet cable. Here, it says the LAN cable. Check it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and check it. Here's my cable. I'm going to plug it in. Also, push it all the way. I don't see lights. What the hell? The switch is on. Oh no, I only have one PC. Uh-oh, that's not good. Let's enable this. And oh no. I only have one Ethernet. Anyways, I'll check that later on. So this is the P5Q L Pro. This board has a lot to offer, much like its brother. 4 memory slots up to 8 gigs or 16 gigs. I'm not sure. 1 PCI Express 16 lane, 2 1 lane, 3 standard PCI, 6 serial ATA, 1 IDE controller, 1 IDE channel, 1 floppy, 3 USB headers, and the front panel connector. They normally ship with the ASUS Q connector, so that's why you'd, yeah, they look all scattered like this. Your onboard audio is right here as well. And yeah, the PS2 for the keyboard and mouse, 6 USB 2.0, your SPDIF out. I think that's gigabit now, gigabit Ethernet, and your surround sound audio output, and your microphone jack, of course. Alright, well now I'm actually going to go ahead and use another tactic. Actually, I'm going to change my tactic. I thought I'd save this one for the last, but meh. I already got the others going. Is there another board? Oh yeah, the P5P EVM. Yeah, this one has loaded capacitor, so I'll keep that at the end. Okay. Once again, X38 chipset. That's the highest end I got. It's got no heatsink whatsoever, so I'm going to get a small piece of shit heatsink that came out of an SIS chipset, which basically is horrible decision. Doesn't even have the Klingon clips. Of course, I could use the A-Open or an ASUS P5B board, except yeah, that's kind of a risky thing. Anyways, that's good enough for the test. Anyways, works for me. Okay, this one I have no idea what it's gonna do. To my dismay, because it's Hewlett Packard and it's such a high-end system, it's probably dead. Okay, let's see what it's gonna do. Sometimes HP loves to start. See? It loves to start without letting me know. Oh well, I guess that just shut off fast. You're on again. whatever. I'm gonna make it quick if it does post because, well, I have the proper heatsink. And it's mostly dead. Beautiful. Absolutely amazing. I'll try to start it without RAM. That one must be fried. Come on, it's HP. Oh, fine. Oh. But for first it wouldn't start. Do I have a buzzer on it though? Because if I do not have a buzzer, that's gonna not help. Fuck, the speaker is a little proprietary switch. Damn it. Wow, that heatsink really gets, yeah, that's warm, so it's getting power. Who knows? Alright. Try her again. Oh, well look at that. You just tap everywhere and it works. And what was I looking for? Ah. Yeah, it's an it's a workstation. Yeah, that's it. Yes. Yeah, holy crap, that's a lot of airs. Yeah. I think so, eh? Well, I'm gonna hurry up, like I've mentioned, because, well, I don't have the proper heatsink. It's easy, eh? Front USB, front audio, front rear chassis, time and date not set. Wow. Let's find out what's in the BIOS. That's HP Signature BIOS. Looks a little darker blue. Yeah, Scorpio Duo 6320. So that CPU is indeed fine. Flash system ROM, if you do. I think you have a USB thing. Yes. About. Let's take it. Boot order. Not a lot. Not a lot. Oh, I have an X38 chipset system. Sweet. And you can do all this if you want. Whee! Okay, anyways, external serial ATA devices available, everything there. Devices hidden for ESD, embedded security device. Power management. Thermal makes the fan go crazy, but I don't think, because it's an Intel, it doesn't do shoot all. Shoot. Let me test that. Oh, she's getting hot. Gotta hurry up here. Power on, PCI devices. Yeah, I'll make her quick. You can pause the video because I really have to hurry up. No, I'm not gonna do that. Okay, whatever. This is the HP Workstation XW4600. Holy shit, that CPU's fucking, that heatsink is fucking hot. Holy crap. And despite the fact that I do not have the proper heatsink for it, I managed to get a demo out of it. And for those of you who don't know, the heatsink's as big as those Intel heatsinks. And that thing there is a little puny little thing. And it's hot. Wow, it's hot. Yeah, that could potentially destroy the board. Whoa. And it's a good thing I shut it off. I shut it off in time. Wow. Once again, one of the other stupidities of removing a Northbridge heatsink. X38 chipset. Okay, let's take a look at the connections in there. Alright, for the X38 chipset, we have one PCI 1 lane, one PCI 8 lane, two PCI 16 lane, three standard PCI. We got one integrated USB port on the bottom of the board. Really weird, but could be very, very useful. We got 5 serial ATA. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know why this one's all like bleh. We have this little button there. You press that button. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, you can see it, I think. The bare little yellow thing there. You press it, resets your CMOS. Here's your standby LED. We have a PCI fan here. We have the control panel. I don't even know where the power button is. This is the front audio people were saying. They were telling me that it wasn't connected. This is the USB. It was saying that it wasn't connected. There's a lot of stuff not connected. This little port right here, I have, ow, no idea what it is. It's pretty hot. How hot is it really? Oh, it's getting warm. I wasn't expecting that. Anyways, so this connector has I don't know what it is. 4-pin CPU connector, 4 slots per RAM. Gets up to 16 gigs, 8 or 16. Hood sense. I think that is actually not a fan connector, but a connector for if you open the chassis. But once again, I am not sure. It looks like a CPU pin connector, but it says hood sense. So I'm gonna take that as a sensor. Floppy connector up there, as well as your 24-pin connector here. Low pin I/O count controller powered by SMSC. Okay, so at the back connectors we got 2 PS2 for the keyboard mouse, serial, parallel, 7 USB at the back. I guess the 8th one was on the bottom there. Your onboard audio, and this little thing is an external serial ATA. It looks so tiny. Look. Yep. It's a high-end machine. It was a high-end machine, anyways. Now it's desperately in need of a heatsink in order for me to get it going again. But hey, it works. That's surprising, especially Hewlett Packard. Asus let me down, which is like Toyota's for me. But this is, I don't know. Well, it is higher end, so kind of expected. Anyways, one more board. It's got Bosch capacitors. Is it going to start? I don't even think so. And for the grand finale of shit, we have the P5PE VM. Much like the P4PE VM. This one has Bosch capacitors. Dust issues. Well, I'm going to go with the ports quickly because there's so little to show. 20-pin connector, 2 IDE controllers right here, well, 2 IDE ports, excuse me. 2 serial ATA ports here, your floppy. This is where an AMR CNR slot would have been, but isn't. 3 PCI slots, your AGP 4X, 8X, front panel, typical. And yeah, that's it. I got a matching heatsink, but the heatsink for the HP is much bigger. Oh well. I'm gonna go get a CPU and a heatsink, and I'm gonna get this thing hooked in, and I'll see what's gonna happen. Alright, all hooked in. This one, like I've mentioned, may not post because of the Bosch capacitors, and if they are Bosch and it doesn't post, well, I'm not really interested in doing it, so right away, I have other things to tend to, I'm afraid. So now, I have this header right here, consisting of all the LEDs I need and all the stuff I want. What we have to do is just plug her in, and yeah, we should be okay to go. Everything's fine. The Bosch capacitors doesn't seem to make it a big deal. Whoops. Maybe it does. Okay, let's CPU in fine. Maybe the capacitors barely make hold of it. Maybe it's shorted. I don't know. Try her again. I'm gonna try it twice, 3 times. I really hear that. No. Capacitors cannot hold the charge. At least it works. So that's the power supply that doesn't sizzle. This power supply sizzles a bit too, much like its power box there that sizzles as well. But that's beyond the point. They both work properly. And I checked on the ASUS website, and much like I've expected, this is an Intel 865G chipset. What I've not expected was something I never thought I'd see. You know what? Here, I'll just let the image speak for itself. I have to find the pause button. There we go. What do you see there? What's different? What's odd? That's right, it's running a Core 2 Duo 6320. It actually can overclock to 1066. That's what the board said, and with the later revision BIOS, and I didn't even flash it actually. Looks like I just had that CPU in there accidentally, and there we go. So yeah, this system actually, well, this board can take a Core 2 Duo up to an E6800. Don't bother about the E8400. That's not gonna work. Wow. The only holdback is this little guy right here, DDR400. This actually could be a little bit of a bottleneck, but it ain't as bad as others would actually tend to be. And there you go. You can really see it. So now I have no tripod, so it's gonna shake a little. So these are just basic updates anyways. Hardware monitor shows, yeah, 43, 42, 38, 39. Yeah, it seems to be a bit jumpy, as you can see there. These two little voltage regulators right here, if I can get my fingers right, there we go. These two little black things here. Some of you may see it, but it's discolored over here, so it looks like they had a hard time in their past. Maybe because of the capacitors, maybe because it was too hot, maybe because, who knows. I mean, when I took ownership of it, 4-volt capacitors and that was it. And as you saw, it turned on but struggled to stay on, so it would have constantly shut off. But now it's running fine. So I was actually a little bit skeptical when I did the solder job that it would still wouldn't work because maybe they would have overheated, but looks like it's taking it kind of nice, and it's very quiet. Very, very quiet.